Welcome to All New Look Back in Amber, from exclusive interviews to interesting inside insights. Since 2010, we've been the best place to be for all things audio for us Newport County fans. Coming up in 45 minutes, I'm Lamsey and I've got all the big questions.
I'm Stephen and I've got the commentary highlights, and I'll be asking, is Graham Coughlin a master tactician?
I'm Luke. I'll have the post-match interview with County Manager Graham Coughlin, and I would like to know, is there only one Omar Bogle?
Never miss out. Subscribe to the podcast now. Make sure you listen at 3 p.m. on a Sunday, 7 p.m. on a Wednesday after all League 2 home matches.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now.
Newport City Radio.
So, it began at 6 p.m. in the Marquee with the NCL warm-up team, the kids from Evan James Score, and an outstanding performance
Not
from Stains of Revelry.
Right then.
Well, I was made to come on to that point, because I said to you two yesterday over the Marquee, I said, right, how am I going to say this? And Stephen just trots out easily because I guess you can speak a little bit of Welsh.
Not really, no.
You do a better job than me.
But,
so
I have a bit of an understanding of the language, I suppose.
So I said to the teachers or the coaches, I said, can't I just call it Evan James? And they went, yeah, of course you can. So Stephen, what was the name of the school again?
Ysgol Gynradd Gymraeg.
Evan James.
Yeah.
He did the tricky bit. he missed that easy bit. And then a standard performance from Stains of Revelry, second time in the Marquee. They're just brilliant.
Yeah,
the stuff that they do.
They sounded good when me and Luke were in there.
I'm surprised that you guys couldn't hear it when you took your position.
Yeah, we could actually.
Yeah, because we got a brand new sound system for the warm up. It's cost $9,000. Yep. Thank you for playing the National Lottery, and thank you to the Big Lottery for giving us the money. That's why it sounds a little bit louder than normal. It continued at 7:45 p.m. in the compy with Stephen and Luke, who are here in the studio with me today. Stephen talks to me about Stevenage recent form. In fact, no, actually, how's your recent form?
My recent form's been fair to middling, I'd say. Yeah.
Had a good indie show earlier, available Mixcloud soon, and Saturday at 6 p.m.
Yes. That will make the podcast.
Yeah, so Stevenage, they lost their last match, actually, 3-2 at home to Bradford, which ended a 12-match unbeaten run. Stevenage had drawn their previous 5 away matches and were unbeaten in their last 8 away. Stevenage won the reverse fixture 1-0 in September, but Stevenage had not won in Newport since April 2018, which was a 1-0 win.
Look, how did Newport County line up yesterday evening?
Yesterday, Newport County made 2 changes to the team. We had Nick Townsend in goal, James Clark, Priestley Ferguson and Mickey Dimitri as a back 3, Adam Lewis and Cameron Norman as the 2 wing-backs, Harry Charlesley, Scott Bennett and Aaron Lewis is a midfield 3. The 2 changes came up front, and Omar Bogle and Callum Cavanagh started up there.
Okay, let's take you back 23 hours and 30 minutes ago to what happened yesterday evening.
The romance of league football is in the air tonight as Newport County host high-flying Stevenage this evening. Newport manager Graham Coughlin has rekindled his love for winning matches recently. And with me is a man who always feels the love for Newport County. It's Mr. Luke Lewis. Hello Luke, what are your expectations for this evening?
Yeah, good evening. I can't think of a better place to spend my Valentine's Day than here at Rocky Parade alongside my co-commentator Stephen. I think, never mind now, 3 points are in the air for Newport County tonight. What are my expectations? Hopefully a fast start. Stevenage, as you mentioned, winless in their last 3 games. I think if we get a nice early start, maybe an early goal to settle the nerves and maybe put a few doubts and thoughts in their mind, then who knows?
Played back into the midfields. Now wide with Smith. No, a lovely ball into the box here. And there's a chance here and it's a goal! Norris it is for Stevenage. 2 minutes gone here at Ronnie Parade. It's Newport County 0, Stevenage 1. 42 and a half minutes gone. Corner played into the near post. Cleared away by Clark. Cameron Norman's got it just over the halfway line. Oh, up and under there. Parkson wins the header. Flicked on to Bogle. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! Newport County a level. 42 minutes gone. Lovely ball, long ball played downfield by Cameron Norman. On to Omar Bogle. That's his first goal in 15 games. And what a time to get it. Well, we've said they've played well and we thought a chance might come. And it's come. at the right time for Newport County, just before half-time. But what a good goal that was, Luke.
That was awesome. His first goal in nearly 4 months. The county fans have got his back a little bit, and I think he kept the siesta though when he scored, so definite message to the county fans. But yeah, long overdue. I think his play is underappreciated, I'd say.
Welcome back to Rodney Parade, as we're just about to get underway for the second half. So yeah, big changes by the visitors there. Gone for a change up front. Obviously the goalkeeper one is forced.
Yeah, making 4 substitutions at half-time isn't something you see often. Obviously, we've only had the 5 substitute rule come in this season. But yeah, change of shape it looks like for the visitors. And I think that just gives credit to Newport and how well they played in the first half, making the opposition make 4 changes at half-time.
Ball's played in the area. It's headed on. Roberts is there and it's a goal! Well, it's another early goal for the visitors from the throw-in. It was headed on. Well, he had a clean shot on goal there. Nobody challenging for him. 48 minutes gone. It's Newport County 1, Stevenage 2.
Looks like Stevenage have had the right act read to them at half time. They've come out the second half. It's a completely different team. I think that I don't know, I just think that they look better so far in the second half than we have. If I was Graham Coughlin, I'd be saying, try and have a few shots against the goalkeeper. He's just come on, he's young, he hasn't played much. Try and test him in the early stages of the second half.
Well, this is going to be the first time this season we've heard Omar Bogle's name being sung.
I think one thing that Newport County haven't done in the second half is had a 5-minute spell of possession just to shut themselves into the second half. And I think that's what we need, is just a little bit of time on the ball, maybe 1 or 2 chances just to settle us into the second half.
Played out wide, it was Norman, controls it on the chest, comes in field, brings it to McNeil, good 1-2 with Norman who shoots, but Bostic clears it away, and it's penalty! Bostic brought down Bogle in the area. That is a penalty for Newport County. Nice little 1-2 there with McNeil. Omar Bogle with a huge chance here. Runs up, and it's a goal! Omar Bogle with his second goal of the game. His 11th goal of the season. And it could be an important one as Newport County get themselves back on level terms in this game with 6 minutes to go. Cool as you like with that penalty, look, that could be a big goal for Newport County.
It could. If you offered me a point before this game, I'd have bitten your hand off. Stevenage obviously second in the league, but I think the crowd's here now and we know what we're like in the last 10 minutes of games. Who knows where we could go from here.
And there we go. Full time here at Rodney Parade. It ends Newport County 2, Stevenage 2, which means that Newport County now unbeaten in the last 4 matches at home, 1-1, drawn 3.
Yeah, I think he'll be showing the county players some very well-deserved love after this game. Yeah, points are really well-deserved.
Cheers, Luke. So here we are at Rodney Parade. Finishes Newport County 2, Stevenage 2.
Cool, could feel the love between you two last night. That's brilliant, thank you guys. We just should say Chris Chappell's all well and good. He was looking after his daughter last night.
No, he's looking after his wife, Sue.
Oh right, okay. Well, I like this.
Yeah, because she's been unwell, so get well soon, Sue.
So he's looking after both.
Yeah.
Don't call it child minding because he's the dad. Let's get at this by hearing from the Newport County manager, Graham Coughlin. You might need a cup of tea for this one. It's a bit of a long one.
Well, it was certainly entertaining, that's for sure. I thought we were we looked a little bit jaded at times. We looked a little bit tired. We looked as if we did have a long travel to Barrow and the weekend. But I thought the character, the resilience, and at times we played some decent stuff against a top team. And to be going to try and win it at the end, to go with 4 forwards on the pitch, probably just indicates how far we've come individually and collectively, and where we are as a group. I thought I'm really proud of them again, to be honest, but I suppose I'm sounding like a broken record. I'm really proud of the group, the effort that they put in tonight, and they've run through brick walls again. But we'll have to sit down and have a look at the 2 goals against, because I think the lads know themselves. They don't need me to come in and say anything to them. You can hear them talking in the change rooms. They're a little bit annoyed with themselves for conceding 2 sloppy goals.
Yeah, 3 minutes into each half.
Yeah. It's something we look at. We'll have to reflect. We'll have to regroup, and we'll have to have a little look at why, where, and when. The goals, people switching off, not winning first contacts. But look, I'll let them sort it out themselves. We'll give our opinions as coaches and management team. But is it an effect from the weekend coming back from Barrow, a long trip? Who knows? But it's something we'll certainly have to look into. But I certainly wasn't happy with the goals we conceded, and I don't think the lads were either. So I dare say they don't need me to stand here and talk them through it. They'll know that themselves.
You used that word resilience earlier in your first answer, and I think that's striking to me, just how much more resilient this team is now.
Yeah. It's something that I am as a character. I've been knocked, bumped and bruised all my days. So you have to build that resilience. And I just think the world we live in nowadays, I just think you have to have resilience, you have to have character, and you have to have something about you. And we certainly do. We certainly do, to be fair. But look, we've off the back of a couple of victories, it would have been nice to go and snatch it there at the end. We were probably on the front foot in the ascendancy. I think the substitutions yet again helped us, got us into the game, asked questions of them, and brought us energy. So they've been really positive and really effective for us since the January window. So it's all in all, it's been a good couple of games, good couple of weeks. So but we want more. You know what we're like. We're greedy. We want more, and we would have loved the 3 points tonight. It wasn't to be. But yeah, look, we won't mention the penalty incident either, where Aaron Lewis was taken down, because those type of incidents get you into trouble. So and when you're told there's contact, that sends you over the edge. So yeah, all in all, I think we were unlucky. We were hard done by, and I'd like to see us get a fair crack at some stage and be on the right end of a couple of refereeing decisions for once in my Newport tenure. I'd like to see that. I don't think it will happen, but I would like to see it, to be honest.
Do you think Omar's been helped by the signings, that you brought in real goal threats, that sometimes that means you're not just seen as the main goal threat, if that makes sense, and Oz obviously get back there?
Yeah, it's competition. We were reliant on 3 strikers, if we include Will Evans. Oz was out injured, so realistically, when I come into the football club, we only had 2 strikers. That was Will Evans, and that was Omar Bogle. And there was a lot, as you say, you used the word reliant. We were all reliant upon him. The football club was reliant upon him. We were going through a bad patch. The club was going through a bad patch on the pitch. We weren't scoring goals, and it's easy to point your finger at a striker because he's not scoring goals. For me as a centre half, first and foremost, I think I point the finger at myself as a centre half. I'm not contributing goal wise, so I think it was really unfair that everybody was pointing the finger at our strikers. I had to get to January, and I just had to batten down the hatches and just get as many results and make us as resilient as we could. January just couldn't come quick enough for me, because we certainly needed help, we certainly needed bodies, we certainly needed yes, in January we were only able to bring in 3 kids, and Matty Baker, Cav and Charlie. We brought 3 kids in, and I got 1 permanent signing in Harry Charsley. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. I thought we had a real positive window. I thought the effect that the players are having on the group is brilliant. Their character has fitted right in, their work rate, their ethic has fitted right in, and that's why we recruited them. And yes, to go back to your point, I do think the competition is helping Omar and us. And you do need competition, and I think now I could pick any one of the 5 or any 2 of the 5. As you know, we like playing with 2, but sometimes 4 strikers on the pitch. So I do like playing with attacking players, because the game is about getting goals and scoring goals.
Made the change to bring 4 strikers on. How hard is it as a manager though? Because obviously it can get a bit manic, can't it?
I think it did.
It did.
And I don't think that's the first time it's happened. But look, there will come a time, let's be honest, there will come a time, we've done it here at Crawley as well, and we got back in the game, so there will come a time that it'll go against me. So that's the way the land lies. But I just, the thought process was, it was a game we could have won, it was a game we wanted to win. And once we got back in at 2 each, I just felt we were in the ascendancy, and I just felt we had the quality to cause some problems. I felt they were on the ropes, and yeah, it was brave, but at the same token, I'll remind you, I did make a positive change at Derby, and that cost me. So, look, some you win, some you lose, and it's a gamble no matter what you do. But it's one of those things. We ended up with 4 strikers on the pitch because we wanted to win it. We were trying to get the winning goal. They wanted the referee to blow the whistle. We wanted another 5 minutes because I do think we could have won it. And such is the distance we have come as a group over the last 2-3 months.
One thing that you and your coaches will be, its delivery from set pieces was a slight doubt. It provided the Mickey goal at the weekend, but today.
Well, that's welcome to League Two. Welcome to League Two. You've seen the quality that we've got from deliveries. We were very potent, very good with our quality, and we do score goals. We do score goals from set pieces. So we're one of the stronger teams in League Two from set pieces. But tonight we had no chance of scoring with that quality. I looked at Aaron and I looked at Adam, and the two of them just turned away and just said, "Gaffer, they've left their boots behind tonight." So look, they're normally very reliable for us. They're normally very good with set pieces. It has been a big positive during my time. Tonight was not a night to look at our set pieces. If anything, we're going into the weekend and also won't have a clue what type of delivery we're going to put in the box. So I have to take a positive and a negative because the set pieces weren't very good tonight. We either overhit them or underhit them.
Despite conceding 2 very early on in each half, players didn't let their heads drop, did they? That shows the character of yourself and this football club. Yeah, look, you can't feel sorry for yourself, Luke. You have to roll your sleeves up and battle. And you've always got a chance. You've always got a chance with this group of lads. You've always got a chance of getting a goal, such as the players, such as the resilience, such as the character, the work rate, the effort, all of those things I keep talking about. The lads are confident now, they're grown, they've got a little bit of belief. I just wish they would trust me a little bit more when I keep telling them that they should be in a higher position in the league, they should be better than they are, and they're well able to compete with teams like this. That's Swindon, that's Leyton Orient, that's Stevenage. We competed with Northampton, Mansfield, so they're well able. This group of lads are well able to compete with the top teams and the big boys of this division. You've asked for consistency after tonight. That's 1 defeat in 8 now in the league. Do you think you're starting to see that little bit of consistency you've been asking for?
I wasn't happy a few weeks ago when we got beat at Carlisle, but look at a couple of individual mistakes is cost us at Carlisle. So the 1 defeat, it was hard to take. It's hard to take, but you know we're in every game. We're in every game, and that's the hard part. That's the hard thing about League Two to accept. But I've been really pleased with them, to be honest. I'm really pleased with them. I think they're a great group, and I keep saying that, and I keep repeating myself, and people are probably telling me to shut up. But you know, they've got a great work ethic, and look, I keep challenging them. I challenge them now to go on them unbeaten runs, put strings together, put 2, 3, 4 wins together, put 3, 4, 5 results together. And I think they've dug themselves out of a real dark place, a real tough place, and it's not easy to do that, and fair play to them. They've been brilliant, and each and every one of them, and there's now real genuine competition for places in that team. It's a small squad. It's 18 man. We've got Declan injured at the minute, so we've got 18, 19 fit players to choose from, and unfortunately I have to leave 1 player out every weekend, which is really difficult for me to do. So the competition, it's small, it's tight, but the competition is really good, and I think that's what drives them on. We alluded to it earlier with Chris, the striking competition now, but yeah, there is good competition in there, and they are a good bunch of lads, and they are showing resilience and character.
You just mentioned it being a small squad. Would you have preferred to have a larger squad at your disposal, or are you okay with the size it's at?
If I have a few injuries and suspensions, I'd rather a larger squad. If they're all fit and healthy, I'm quite happy with a small squad. But look, the squad is what it is. It's probably not. We haven't done what others have been able to do. Go out and get 11 players in January, 9 players, and another club 11. So we haven't been able to do that. What we've done is we've gone out and got players that would fit into our ethic, fit into our culture, fit into what the club's about. And we've recruited that type of player, and they've come in and they've really helped us. And then, look, I want to give them all opportunity. I want to give them all a chance. But as soon as you start going into the 20s, 22s, 24s, I think a little bit that disrupts the harmony in the dressing room. That disrupts the team spirit in the dressing room, because I've got a tough job. I've got to keep 20, 18, 19, 20 players happy, and that's hard because I can only pick 11. And then when I pick a subs bench, I've got to leave one out, and that's the hard part of the job. But it's, thank God it's only 1 and not 4 and 5.
Last one from me. It's Valentine's Day. The county fans show plenty of love to the team this afternoon.
The county fans have been brilliant, and I don't think it's just Valentine's Day. They do it every week, to be fair. And I must take my hat off to the 95 that travelled up to Barrow on the weekend. Unbelievable, to be fair. And you can hear them, you know, even tonight when we're out of the game with 2-1, we're down home to Crawley. You can hear them, and they do get you back in. They do energise the players, and I think they appreciated the players appreciated that tonight, because we had a long trip. It was the second game in the week, obviously, and we need it again on Saturday. They energise us late on in the game, and when they're roaring and shouting, they give you that little extra energy, they give you that little extra burst. And you know, you could probably take your hat off to them there again at Crawley, and tonight against Stevenage. They're probably the ones that get us back in the game and keep us going, you know, from the terraces. And yeah, there's a lot of love from them to us and from us to them, because I think there's a real connection and a real bond. And that's something that stands out since I've come in, the connection between the fans and the players.
There you go, Newport County manager Graham Coughlin. Luke, nice question, especially the last one.
I think Rob Phillips enjoyed that one as well, judging by his reaction.
Yeah, I think we all enjoyed that one. There's, I think you said halfway through it, you know, sick and tired of saying the same things. I don't think that was the case in that one. I thought he was brilliant. Everything in that 12 minutes was absolutely golden, and probably what we're going to talk about on this podcast. So, Stephen, let's go back to last night's game.
Yeah, it was an awful start to concede so early in the first half, especially. We said it in the commentary, and kind of Luke alluded to it in his questions, that the players, their heads didn't drop, and Newport County kind of were the better team in the first half. We felt, didn't we? We thought, we thought they deserved to go in 1 up, got the goal at a good time just before half time. But because I think what it did was Stevenage got a bit of confidence by going ahead so early, but then I think Newport kind of got the measure of them a little bit, started to play their own game, and then Bogle started to have an influence, got the goal. But then half time, Stevenage made 4 changes, changed their system a little bit, went to like a back 4.
One of those changes just he was enforced, I think.
Yeah, the goalkeeper. They had to change the goalkeeper, so that was enforced. So yeah, 3 other changes. Yeah, but so they changed the formation a little bit. And I think, again, it took County a little bit of time to kind of get used to that. I think that's where they got caught out in the throw. Danny Rose come on, started causing problems aerially. They got a goal, but they didn't really defend it very well, you know, because Roberts had a free volley in the area, which he shouldn't really be able to do. But then they got to grips with that again. I think Graham Coughlin was really proactive, made some changes, got the penalty, got the goal, got themselves back into the game. As Graham Coughlin said, the crowd got behind them, and because they did go quiet for a little bit when they were 2-1 down, but the crowd got back behind them, and I think it really did.
They're all texting their partners to apologise for not being with them on Valentine's night. That's what was going on at that point. The guilt kicked in for everybody in the stadium at the same time. Even one of the singers from Saints of Revelry pointed to his wedding ring at one point when they mentioned, like, we're all here on Valentine's night, what are we doing?
Yeah. Overall, I think to get a point against Stevenage at home is really, really good. I mean, they're up the top of the table. They came back twice against them. I thought Kavanagh played well. I thought Chelsea had another good game as well. Matt Baker, when he came on in the defensive midfield position, I thought he looked really good as well. So, yeah, I just think it's a really, really positive night all round, to be honest.
I know you want to talk about tactics a little bit later and some of the decisions made by the manager. Look, I know you want to single out Omar Bogle for massive praise, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Look, going back to the game, aside from those 2 elements, what did you make of it?
We deserved a point. We'd probably, if we're being honest, deserved more than a point yesterday. I think for the first half, we totally dominated. 56% possession, 8 shots, 2 on target, compared to 44% possession, 6 shots and 1 on target. You know, so yeah, we dominated that first half. I think we had the better passages of play. When I noticed when Stevenage had the ball, they just passed around their defence, maybe back to the goalkeeper, into the midfield, and they weren't really creating much. But when we had it, we were going forward with purpose. Cameron Norman and Adam Lewis, 2 wing backs, were going quite well, and I think we looked quite solid. Obviously disappointed to concede the early goal, but as Stephen said, the players' heads didn't drop. If anything, they came out even stronger, which if we were going back about 3 or 4 months at Newport County, would you have seen them come back from 1-0 down after conceding so early on in the first and second half? Probably not. And I think that's a testament to what Graham Coughlin's done in his era, that belief he's installed into them that might have been a bit missing. We've obviously, under Michael Flynn, we fight to the end, we never give up attitude. That was out in full force yesterday.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he has, definitely. I think he's brought it back, yeah. And I agree. I think, under the previous manager, I think they would have probably gone on and lost that game. Yeah, it is a bit of a problem, though, conceding goals at the beginning of the second halves. I think yesterday was, the 6th time they've conceded in the first 15 minutes of a home game, and they've only scored 2 in that time. But what they've also done yesterday is they, over the last couple of games, they conceded a lot of goals in the last 15 minutes of games. But over the last couple of games, we started to score goals in the last 15 minutes of games. So we've kind of levelled that out now. It's 4-4 against 4 in the last 15 minutes at home. Yeah, but that start of the second half is killing us at home on times. But luckily it didn't hurt us too much yesterday.
Look, how tactical a game was it between the two sides? Because it just seems it was almost like a game of chess, listening back to your commentary.
I think it was, and I think Steve Evans at half-time, he almost made the first move, because we totally outshone them. Adam Prushbeck came on, who's only been at the club for about 2 weeks. So he made the first change, and for the first, well, obviously, they had an instant response because he scored a goal. But me and Steven said on commentary that Stevenage looked like they had the right attack read to them at half-time by Steve Evans, and it definitely worked. And Steve Evans is someone you don't want to be having the right attack read by.
Because that was strange, because obviously it's about Newport County, but we in this game I think we have to talk about Stevenage a little bit. In terms of that, I think you're right, he read them the right attack to half-time, but then he took players off, so enforced goalkeeper, but the rest he made changes on the other 3. So I'm quite surprised he didn't read them the right attack and then gave the 3 players just 5 or 10 minutes to see how they reacted to it. Or am I wrong in thinking that?
I think you're wrong in thinking that, because he changed the shape after making those substitutions. So it was
a shape thing. Yeah.
So obviously he could see a weakness in Newport County or somewhere where he thinks that Stevenage can be better than Newport County. So obviously he made those changes. Luke Norris, who scored, I think was on his final warning. So
you had to take him off. Yeah,
you had to take him off.
Coming close to a red card.
You said that Stevenage might have seen a weakness in Newport County. Have you guys got any idea what weakness he might have seen? And then how did County react to it? So let's take the first bit first.
I don't know so much a weakness, but what he did do is he brought on Danny Rose up front, who was really, really good, winning headers and things. So I think that's maybe why he brought him on. And he was kind of having an impact in there. I think he got the flick on maybe for the goal as well. Yeah, and he was doing it quite a bit. So I think he saw it wasn't working, made some changes, and it worked for a little while. But like you said, I think it is a credit to how County were playing. I think it was like Orient we played, didn't we? And we did the same sort of thing, but I'll come to that later. So
I know we're close to a line with what you want to talk about. If this goes over the line, I can change the question. But what I'm intrigued to find out is that did County then react again? And does this? We talked about resilience in it in the post-match interview, but is this where tactically County have got more than a plan A?
Well, we'll find out.
It's crossing the line. I thought it might be a little bit.
Yeah. You did a Graham Coughlin there by saying I'm not going to talk about something and then talking about it.
That's good. I just want to find out where the line was, and I'll put my head on it.
Yeah, and I think just like what Graham spoke about is I think the team are definitely growing. They've got more belief in themselves now, maybe. So we've said their heads didn't drop, so I think they've got belief in what the manager wants them to do. Maybe they don't always do it as well as what he wants them to, but I think there is a big difference in this team, and they are, they're getting results against good teams. They've they've drawn with the top 3 at home: Leyton Orient, Stevenage, and Carlisle. So we've taken points off the top 3 at home, which is not to be sniffed at. We also beat Leyton Orient away, so we're taking points off the teams up the top of the table, and I agree with him. I think we can compete with these teams. So it's just about I think it's that consistency that we've spoken about,
and getting over that lack of confidence that he's identified, and we've talked about on the last edition of Look Back in Amber as well. So I wonder, the confidence going to come with results, isn't it? But results also they need the ability to play and get a good performance.
Talking about that consistency, just quickly, we're currently 8th in the form table, which, if that continues to the end of the season, could be interesting. We know the League 2 is typically a tight, close league. If we can get into that band of teams, then who knows? We've always said throughout the season that one team comes from nowhere just after Christmas and goes on a run. Could Newport County be that team this season?
Yeah, well, we're on our way. We just need to put wins together. That's the key thing. You need to put a run of wins together, which is what he said in the press conference, wasn't it?
Or no losses, which is where we're at right now, isn't it? So you need that consistency.
One defeat in 8, and that was against third place Carlisle away.
Yeah.
And we know how far Carlisle is to travel.
And you can't sniff at that, can you? Can County only compete with the big teams?
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? We seem to be raising our game against the bigger teams, but then when we go in against the teams around us or just below us, we're kind of falling short, which is, I think, the frustrating thing at the moment, isn't it? Obviously you need to get wins at least against the bottom teams, and then hopefully compete with the big ones and hopefully take some points off them as well.
Okay, before we go on to the absolutely counting man of the match, we're through the transfer window. We've had a couple of games now. Stephen, in your opinion, how are the new boys settling in?
Yeah, well, I think Graham Coughlin last night, I thought he played really, really well. His link-up play with Bogle was really good. He was, I think what he's got about him is that he's got a bit of physicality about him as well for a young player. So he can handle himself up against League 2 defenders.
That's something we also said last night in the commentary, is that he's went to Harrogate last season. He had 10-15 games under his belt there, and I think that gives him the edge over Charlie McNeil, who throughout his career has only played under 23s football and hasn't had that experience of men's proper football, whereas Graham Coughlin has, and he almost looks a different player to Charlie McNeil.
Yeah, I think we've got two exciting options up front. I really like Charlesy in the midfield. I think he's really added something. He's really good going forward, but he's equally as good defensively. Yeah, Matt Baker came on in a defensive midfield position, looked really solid. He's got a bit of physicality about him as well, to be honest. So and he can also play in the defence as well, so he's versatile. I was really impressed with him. Yeah, Charlie McNeil looks good, but like we said, this is his first loan at a League 2 club or a league club, so we can't expect too much too soon of him. But in the first 3-4 matches that they've played, they look really, really positive signings.
Let's go to the absolutely counting team man of the match. Who were the options?
The options were Omar Bogle, Graham Coughlin, and Mick Dimitri or other, which obviously you can let me know in the comments. Stephen, who was your man of the match last night?
Oh, well, Omar Bogle, isn't it? Goes without saying.
With 90% of the vote, the one and only Omar Bogle.
Wow, what a turnaround.
Yeah, what a surprise.
I'm glad we're talking about this in about 10 minutes' time, because that's a brilliant talking point that we'll come on to in a second. Look amazing. Okay, British rock band FM are on the UK tour. They will be here at the Neon on Saturday, the 20th of May. The doors open at 7:30pm. Tickets are available at a different website to normal. It's fmofficial.com.
Right here, right now.
Newport City Radio.
So for my talking point this week, I'd like to ask the question, is Graham Coughlin a tactical master? So I'm going to put this over to Luke Lewis first.
I think he is. We've seen... He said it himself, and you just said it. We've competed with the big boys in the league. We competed with Derby. They were lucky to get the win, I think. On the day, a draw probably would have been a fair result.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that he's always kept the 3-5-2, whereas under James Robury we'd switch between the 3-5-2, maybe a 4-4-2.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
4-box-2.
Hit me right in the feels, that has.
Just post Valentine's Day, we're back to the 4-box-2.
Like he'd switch, and that would be like tactically, but under Graham Coughlin, he's stuck with the same formation, and he's just tweaked how they play in that formation. But Adam Lewis and Cameron Norman or Aaron Lewis, the fullbacks remain the same. Defence has looked really solid. It's just up front as well has really helped with signing 2 strikers in January, as we just talked about. It's given them more options. If they wanted to go more direct into, say, Omar Bogle and Franzi Zanzala, they can. If they wanted young runners, they've got Kavanagh and McNeil if they wanted someone else, an alternative. They got Will Evans, who we know will run and run and run. But yeah, I think up front having those few options has really helped him. But yeah, you look at Leyton Orient, Aaron Lewis going into the midfield. I don't want to steal Stevens.
You've got this one.
That Matty Dolan from 2 years ago.
Yeah, we said it, didn't we?
Yeah, when Michael Flynn put Matty Dolan in centre defence, we thought, is he bloody nuts? Has he got that board over lockdown? He's been thinking of how to play his players in out of position.
Well, I think we thought it was because we saw what was happening, didn't we? We thought it was
I even said to Flinny, that's what I thought was happening. I got beaten down.
We thought it was.
Welcome to the world of journalism, my friend.
I know. This is why I leave it to you, Luke, and your capable hands.
Yeah, but it kind of did surprise us. But we could see why that he put Dolan there because, like we said, didn't we? Dolan is like a playmaker. He's looking at the pitch and etc. And I think it's genius what he did with Aaron Lewis.
Yeah, because he said, I think it was after the Leyton Orient game, which is when he first played him there, the one thing that the team has been lacking is a left footer in the midfield, which Aaron Lewis is. Technically, he's brilliant. Graham Coughlin's even mentioned him for a potential shout for the Wales squad. So
we've gone down a player route here, and I think we might be stepping away from the question.
Yeah. Well, Aaron Lewis is one of the things. I think, that is one of the examples of him being tactically astute. So, yeah, what I was have you got any opinions, by the way?
I certainly have.
Cool.
Oh, this is going to shock you too.
All right.
Hold on to something for comfort.
All right, we're holding on. We're holding on, people.
You got your desk by you?
Yep.
I believe, from what I've seen, and having faith in what I've seen, with my eyes and ears, that Graham Coughlin is a better technician than Flinny and Rowbury.
Oof.
Ooh, I'm falling off my chair here. I definitely need to hold on to something now.
Prove me wrong. No, and the reason why I say that is that I do have faith that it's going to take time. He's not had a pre-season with the guys. I'm starting to see things coming through, but I feel that now he's got to grips with the fact that you've got more substitutes you can use. He seems really good at being able to bring on the right sub at the right time, which is something I haven't felt confidence in for quite some time. But that ability to change the game as well, twice.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely wow. So prove me wrong, guys.
Well, actually, I can prove you right because because yesterday in the 70th minute he brought on Zanzala and Evans for Kavanagh and Lewis. In the 79th minute he made 3 changes, bringing on McNeil, Wildig and Baker for Chelsea, Clark and Bennett. Went to a back 4. So I think we would kind of work out the formation. It was 4-1-3 something.
I think it was a 4-1.
Yeah, it was 4-1. Everybody else up front. Yeah,
for something.
But I thought that was really brave, and it paid off. It's
really brave, as he said in his post-match, that he tried before and it didn't work. That's absolutely brave to go for it again.
Yeah, and he did the same against Swindon, if you remember. He brought on Kavanagh and Mariah Welsh for McNeil and Chelsea. This almost had an immediate impact. Kavanagh scored on 78 minutes after coming on like the 71st minute, I think it was. Against Crawley. These are all home games, by the way. He brought on Zanzala and Wildig for Evans and Waite on 53 minutes after going 2-0 down. He then brought on Wilmot, Dolan and Collins for Bogle, Bennett and Dimitru. And as we know, this paid off because Dolan scored first and then Zanzala scored the equaliser. And I think we've spoken a lot about before Christmas, shall we say, that we just felt that he wasn't making changes or he was making them too late in the game with 85 minutes gone. And I really, really do believe that what it was is the options that he had on the bench, he didn't fancy them as players. People like Chankazimba, Thierry Nevers, he didn't see them as part of his team, and that was proved because they left in January and he brought his own players in. So I think now he feels that he's got better options on the bench that he can use or trust. And I think I think the squad that we've got better options off that bench now.
I think he knows the players better as well now.
Yeah.
Would you put Matty Dolan and Robbie Wilmot in that category as well?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I think. I think he probably brought them on for a bit of experience in games, and as we just said, Dolan did pay off just before he left. But again, with those two, they're experienced players. They weren't playing, and I think he saw with them that they wanted to play football. So a credit to him for letting them go out on loan or permanent to go and get action somewhere else.
Look, you up for a fight?
Always.
Are you disagreeing with me about Coughlin being a better tactician than Flinney or Robury?
Well, I think that Robury, what he did well is his philosophy. I think Robury was more philosophy than tactics, I'd say. Because we see
philosophy won't win you football games.
It won't.
No.
But we've seen that his sides would be high press, have the ball for the majority of the game, and have lots of shots, lots of efforts. He'd talk about stats. Then you look at Flinney, you look at some of the stuff he's been able to pull off. Tottenham, having to draw against them. Tactically, he got that spot on, going up against Maurizio Pochettino, one of the best managers of all time, and who's someone I've been compared to on Football Manager by our friend Stephen House at the studio.
Yep.
He's gone up against Pep Guardiola tactically, who is probably one of the best managers of all time. And yeah, I think Flinney, it's early days still under Coughlin, but I'd have to say Flinney at the moment for best tactician. Okay. And he's showing it's a Walsall as well at the moment.
Yeah. You need to resolve this.
Yeah.
Otherwise we're going to be fighting.
Because you did see it with Flinney where he would throw all the forwards on and it never worked. But Graham Coughlin seems to have more of a plan with it, I think. Or
so he's better. There you go.
Maybe he's just lucky.
There you go.
Yeah.
Stephen's deciding vote.
I have. Are you holding a big or small event in 2023 or celebrating a special occasion and need the perfect space? Well, you can hire the Neon. Call 533-666.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now.
Newport City Radio.
There's only one Omar Bogle. Oh, is there?
Good question.
Before we get into the talking point and some excellent analysis here in the studio, let's hear what Graham Coughlin had to say about the man yesterday.
Yeah, sometimes as a player you just maybe need a break. You just maybe need. I know that myself in my own management career. I was totally exhausted and I needed a break. And I come back to the job refreshed, and I come back full of energy and enthusiasm. And I think Omar has come back in tonight with all of those traits, energy, enthusiasm, and refreshed. And I just think he needed a break. And let's be honest, there's been a lot of pressure on Omar to be our talisman. And when you get off and you score some goals, and you go a game or two without scoring, the pressure builds and it mounts. And there's been a lot asked of him and a lot of pressure asked him, but he never once wilted. He's always stood up. Even when he was on the bench, even when he wasn't in the team, he was first one to bang on the door, first one to come and say, why am I playing? So the lad has a heart. He wants to play. He cares, and when he's called upon, he's been very good for us.
Fair play to him. He's gone nearly 4 months without a goal. He's had a lot of stick from county fans online. And some in the stands, he's been cheered off a few times, but last night he came off and he was cheered off, and well deserved. I think, as I said in commentary at the beginning, his play is, I'd say, underappreciated. Some of the stuff he does, his hold-up play, his link-up play, bringing others into play, I think is underrated, and fans don't really see that. They just see him miss maybe one sitter or one really good chance, and then that's it. They think he's had a stinker.
Yeah.
So we've got a question for us.
Is there only one Omar Bogle?
I think you're right. I think he's had his critics. He was being accused of not running a lot, but last night he was running everywhere. He was tracking back. He was helping out the defence. I think we're seeing a different Omar Bogle now to the one that we saw for the first few months of the season. But yeah, really good for him last night. He scored 2 for the first time since getting 2 against Harrogate. So that's really good for him. Because like Graham just said, he started off really well. First 8 games, he scored 6 goals. Then he was a little bit hit and miss. And then he went 15 without the goal. So I'm hoping now that he can get back now on a run of games, scoring goals, which will help us climb the table. I think
as the Tinty song says,
up the Football League we go. Yeah, yeah. I think the like we spoke about, the new additions have added competition, and I think going out of the team now, because before Christmas he was practically guaranteed he was going to play. And I think maybe he got a little bit comfortable with that, but now he's not. And he's been dropped for a couple of games, brought back in, and I think you've seen that with him. So I think that's really helped him. Like we said, I think it's a good sign that we've got options on the bench. I thought his partnership with Kavanagh was really, really good last night. I thought those two played really well together. And I think that we've been looking for these ingredients, as we spoke about on the last episode, and I think we're starting to get them now. I think Kavanagh and Bogle look a partnership together, so I think we're starting to get the right mix. And like I said, the players that we had before, the manager didn't fancy. And the last really positive thing for Omar Bogle is he's hit double figures now. He's got 11 goals this season. The last time he actually did that was in 2016-17 when he was with Grimsby. He got 22 goals in 44 appearances. Got a hat-trick against Stevenage that season as well.
He did.
So he's obviously likes a goal against Stevenage when he's doing well. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy for him. I think, he's taken a lot of critics, but he's kind of starting to answer them now, I think.
Ramsey.
I don't know what exactly has changed. I think it's everything that you've just said, Stephen, is a combination of factors, which what the manager said in his interview. I think this is the real Omar Bogle at last. I think criticism is horrible, isn't it? And there was a lot levelled at him by the fans, but consequently there was a lot of love for him last night. Again, not meaning the Valentine's Day penny in that, but it just, that's why I kept it in the commentary, because I thought it was really great to hear that. So this is the real deal. But I was wondering what changed. And if you're saying it's the link up with Kavanagh on the pitch to help him score goals, and God, we need goals.
Yeah, I just think it was a mentality thing as well. I think that's the biggest thing, is his mentality, I think, has changed.
Yeah, sometimes when you play week in, week out, and as a striker, you're not that he's not doing his job. Not a striker should be scoring goals week in, week out. When you're going through that, it can be a bit mentally tough and mentally draining, and then you have this stuff from the fans. So yeah, really, really pleased for him last night.
I think the weird thing is with strikers, you can't expect them to be consistent the whole season. And he started tailed off. Hopefully this is it now till the end. Yeah,
you look at Dom Telford last season, I think he got like 25 goals and then didn't score for the last 10 games of the season. His form dipped
hopefully it's the way round this time. Yeah, hopefully he's had his barren patch and this is it now, a rich vein of form.
For the run-in, yeah. This year, Exposure Wrestling will have some great shows lined up at the Neon. Tickets for the first show, which is on the 26th of Feb, are already online. Doors are 4 p.m. You can come and say hi to your favourite and the best Newport County podcast out there, and the official one, may I add. There's no age restriction. These shows are suitable for the whole family. All we ask is under 16s be accompanied by an adult. Tickets are available at exposurewrestling.com.
Right here, right now. This is Newport City Radio.
Okay, we're going to rattle through this as quickly as we can because we are very much running out of time. So we're away at Walsall on Saturday the 18th, this Saturday at 3 p.m. Luke, I know you want to talk a lot, but let's try and keep that down to a score if we can.
1-0 Newport.
Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he? Stephen.
2-1 Newport.
I'm going to let you both very quickly say words about Michael Flynn and Hats, Luke.
Legends at Newport County, but Graham Coughlin is building his own empire at the club at the moment.
It's because Graham Coughlin's a better tactician.
Absolutely. Yep.
We're going to find out. Stephen, anything to add to that one very quickly?
No, I think what they did for the club, I think we've more than covered, and they'll always be appreciated by Newport County, won't they? So
Yep. Luke, okay, next one is an away trip to Hartlepool on Tuesday, the 21st of Feb, 7:45 p.m. Luke, what do you think the score's going to be?
3-0 Newport.
Okay. Oh, like it, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm going to go not quite as bold. 2-0 Newport.
All goals by Omar Bogle?
No, I think we'll spread it out. I think Kavanagh will get one as well.
Hopefully McNeil will get one to get his first goal.
Get his first goal.
And then it's back to Rodney Parade on Saturday the 25th of February, 3 p.m. kickoff. Sutton United, the visitors. Stephen.
I think we're going to win 3-2.
Ooh. Speaking of 3-2, last time Sutton visited Rodney Parade, it was 3-2.
Yep, that's what I was just reading there, so I thought I'd go for the same again.
with a last late-minute comeback, I could say 2-0 Newport.
Okay, next up for us, we will be at the Marquee with Frankie Weston there on the 20th of February. Thank you for taking time to listen today. As always, we'd love to read your thoughts about our thoughts on Facebook and Twitter, on Instagram and via direct message. We're also on email, studio@newportcityradio.org. We will catch you on Sunday the 26th of February at 3 p.m. as we look back and remember that game against Sutton United. More talking points, more banter and more top class analysis.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right now. Newport City Radio.